It's awesome.
All right. We're here. We got a good pod. We got things to discuss, Devin.
Yeah.
Something that's not, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of On It. I am Mikey. That is Devin. And if I'm pointing at you, and you're not Devin, well, I'm sorry, but this is Devin right here. We are
Mm-hmm.
back, and one thing that randomly hit me, like before we got all this to talk about, and that however long we just spent talking about random things, it just hit
Mm.
me. Did Tank lose?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the fight, but from
Okay.
what I've heard from
Did
people
you
who watched,
did you see
he
the
did not win that fight.
controversy?
I
And did
saw
you
that he got knocked down, and it wasn't a knockdown because his hair got in the way and whatever the
okay,
fuck happened or
so
whatever. I really don't know what happened too much.
well, okay, so I'll just tell you, I mean, obviously, um we didn't cover the we didn't talk about this fight at all. But no, the fact
No,
that it happened, it was on. I was like, all right, here we go, Tank fight. I will say that controversial moment. I mean, it's I don't know how exactly the politics of boxing works. Where it's like in the NFL, we're like, oh, it's rigged. It's
hmm
like we kind of say
boxing is
that,
for real
but it's
rigged.
like boxing's like super rigged.
Yeah.
And I believe it because it's like no, like he took a knee, a voluntary knee, which counts as
hmm
a knockdown,
Yes.
and and what's his name? Roach just did not get awarded. He was not awarded a knockdown.
hmm
Um, and then I saw a lot of people. Oh well, his hair and this and that. And I've seen Tank pausing or slowing down fights before, pausing fights before, but I mean,
Sure.
if that's just simple as that, like he took a knee, that's a countdown or that's a knockdown every single time, and they just ignored it, like just blatantly ignored it, let it go. Well, yeah, I mean it's obviously rigged.
Of
They
course.
don't want to lose that much money that
I
night.
mean, the
It
fact
just, I
that
mean, it's
yeah, he still snuck out of there with a draw. I mean, a draw is as bad as a loss, especially for a guy like him. Especially when if anyone
yeah.
goes back and looks at the fight, it's like he lost. Well, because it's like this fight wasn't super big. This isn't a Garcia fight or whatever his top dollar fight's gonna be. Um, and he gets beat or draws
Do you
with a
think
guy
Vegas? I mean, they lose more money if I feel. I mean, they lose more money
if he loses.
if he loses, right?
But
I'm saying
yeah, I don't
opposed
think
to a
there. I mean,
draw.
there's probably not anybody betting on a draw.
Oh
You
no.
know,
Well, no. Anybody betting on a draw is
good
winning.
on
Is
you.
winning in
Yeah,
life
for real.
right now.
Yeah,
Is doing great. But you're right. I don't know how many people bet on a draw, especially 30-0, and you just even if it's gonna be close, they're going to give it to him.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Like I don't
like
know what the odds
I don't
were,
know.
but yeah, I didn't know. I don't know who that other boxer is. I have no idea who he is. I know Tank.
Yeah, see, that was the problem. He wasn't the promotion was kind of the promotion for boxing is kind of like
Yeah. Well,
you have
any
to
fight
really
that's not like
watch
a,
and like
but even like I think Canelo just fought. It's like I don't know when the fuck Canelo's fighting unless it's like him and Triple G again or some shit.
you're more aware of when Jake Paul is gonna fight than an actual like than a pro
Everyone on the
boxer.
planet, not everyone on the planet, but a lot of people are aware that Jake Paul's fighting way more than any other person
Mm-hmm.
fighting. For
100%. Um, but all right, let's get into some things that are maybe a little more important than a tank fight. How about the fact that your team has a new piece? Y'all got a new weapon. Y'all got
for a
a
fifth too,
Okay,
for a
so
fifth,
tell me if I'm tripping. Now,
these trades
I'm
are
not
all
trying
highway
to
robbery.
Devin, I am not trying to be negative at all. But
Mm-hmm.
is there not just a tiny percent like just a tiny chance, like just a tiny part of you that is kind of worried or like confused on how y'all fleeced San Fran for Deebo? I mean, a
How we
fifth round
fleeced?
pick,
No,
a fifth round draft pick,
bro. Every trade has been an absolute fleecing.
Devin. You're telling me
But a
there's
fifth
no
is great
chance
though.
that you're telling me there's no chance that San Fran might know some things that y'all don't.
What do you mean?
They might be sending you damaged goods.
Well, I mean, I think we know we're getting something that is either damaged now or potentially damageable. Like he can get damaged
But like, can
easily.
you
So
like you can for sure say you would be just as confident in like you would praise any other contending team for making a move for Debo the way Washington has made the move?
if it's for a fifth, of course.
Yeah. Like you're not just hyped because he came to your team. You're not flipping all of a sudden. Like you have felt this way about Debo where it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, and I mean, I think us getting a piece in the offseason was more of not coming in to fix the offense or to bring so much to the offense, but to be an assistant, a a, a, a bit of a push, a bit of a help. And I think Debo can be that guy. We don't need him to be a
It's
number one. I don't want him to try to be a number one. Just give us a little nudge, some
I
experience.
mean it's a good piece and also I didn't realize. I mean, okay, so you're working with a duo of Terry and Debo, and then
Mm.
after that, Crowder, Diami Brown, Noah Brown, Zach Ertz, all free agents. So I
De'Ami
guess
Brown's a free
what we
agent.
throw in Luke. Mm-hmm. We throw
Luke.
in like so. I'm saying like is there are there plans throwing in Luke throwing Luke in as that third? Because I mean, if they're making that move for Debo, I don't see them going out and re-signing all these other receivers, if any of them.
Well, I think we're keeping Ertz.
Okay,
Um, I
I do
think
think
we're
tight
gonna.
end wise, y'all bring him back.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to keep De'Ami Brown. We're not keeping Jameson Crowder. He's about 98 years
Jameson
old.
Crowder, you got Noah Brown. I mean, there's players, but
Probably
they're all
not.
free agents. Um, but I mean, genuinely, because I guess I didn't really ask you like how you felt or how you would feel about it. When we talked about landing spots for Debo, but just besides the simple, hopefully he just comes in, doesn't overstay his welcome. Like how impactful do you really think the Debo move is for Washington?
I think at its best, it's not gonna be like Debo's got 10 catches for 150 yards or whatever. It's gonna be impact plays. A guy who can break off a 60-yard rushing touchdown or a crazy slant that goes for 50 and changes a game. So I think he's going to be more of that type of player where he's getting a few catches a game, maybe a few carries a game, and he's impacting the game. I don't expect him to be a workhorse of a receiver or a running back.
I think, and I think veteran receiver. Period. You come into
Mm-hmm.
Washington, it's like if you can't figure it out with Jaden Daniels, that's on you.
At this
Like
point,
it's
that's
like
kind of where I
if
mean
Jaden Daniels
we
was,
haven't seen enough to give him that yet, but it's kind of how it is.
I have, I've seen enough to give him that.
I
I've
know,
seen
but
enough to
it's
give him
like
that. I mean, it's
with CJ, it's like you expect because when Diggs goes there, you expect him to be able to play with CJ and take off,
he
and
got
that
hurt.
didn't really happen. But
He tore his knee up.
he did get hurt.
And so I mean, you can't blame him for that. That's you'd have to wait and see if Diggs even decides to return.
Sure.
Um, but Debo, I mean, going to Washington, I think it's a cool move. Like I said, it's something where you already know you got Jaden Daniels who you I don't know. You said you can't really confirm any hot takes on Jaden Daniels yet. I think it's all on Deebo to go in there and figure it out with him, because I think Jaden Daniels can go in there and figure it out with any of these guys that they decide to bring back if they, didn't bring in someone like Deebo. I'd say the bigger thing, y'all were 7th in sacks allowed. If y'all got that, if y'all just addressed that O line this offseason, if that's it, because y'all came out swinging, y'all started, early in the offseason, boom, we're getting Deebo. Like, all right, that's cool. Kind of
Yeah,
like Houston last year, where Houston came out, it's like, boom, we're getting, like, we got Diggs and Joe Mixon, like they were just
Mixon.
making moves, and y'all could be the same. So hopefully this is the start of just a bigger domino fall of more players wanting to come together to make that offense even better. I think that O-line getting addressed, and if it does get addressed, I think the offense gets even scarier. But I'm not really shocked. I mean, Washington was definitely like the top 2 or 3 for me for like landing spots.
Yeah.
It was, to me, I'm glad y'all got him, because I was scared, Pittsburgh was going to try to avenge her up and get Aaron Rodgers and Deebo and all these guys. Like, I was scared of that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm glad that we were able to take him from another place. Um, but yeah, I think it's just like a nice cushion for us to have. It's a nice guy that we can, if we need to, dump blame on a little bit. And when we do play well, we can give him his flowers. So it's cool that, I mean, because you can't dump blame on Terry, you can't dump blame on half these players. But I would like to see us go out and pick up some O line help in the draft. Um, I mean, outside of that, a running back would be a better running back would be nice.
I don't know
But
what y'all are going to do at running back. That's going to be interesting.
I mean, what's cool about Dan Quinn is it's not like a super run heavy offense. So
Oh, no, it's
not
Jaden
at all.
Daniels' arms or we're dying.
For real.
Jaden Daniels'
So
arm or we're dying. But
yeah,
and moving on from that, Deebo Samuel now a Commander. The face of the NBA conversation, Devin. The face of the NBA.
again.
Again, I feel like we have this conversation every like 6 months, but the reason we're having this conversation, this time about the face of the NBA is because Ant said he don't want it. He said
He said he don't want it.
he said I'm good. I don't want to be the face of the NBA. He said something like that's what we got Wemby for. He's like I'm all right. Now and then LeBron, we're gonna get into that. Hold on, but LeBron co-signed the whole Anthony Edwards and was like said something along the lines of why would you want to be the face of this league when people on a day-to-day basis that cover this game just shit on everybody or just shit on you. It's tricky. Like, okay, off the rip, you hear Ant say, "I don't." You hear Ant say, "I don't want to be the face of the NBA." First thing
I don't I don't
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
don't know what that means. Like, I think people like to confuse the conversation a lot because, in my opinion, it's not up to the player. It's not up to them. Like, if you go out and do more media, you're going to become the face of the league or whatever. It's like, even if you want it or not, if you play to the highest level in the NBA, you will be noticed as if you are exciting, if you do this and you do that, then you will be noticed as the face of the NBA, the best player, the most exciting player. When Steph Curry was hot, when it was 73-9 Warriors, it was hot. It was Steph is fucking hitting half court shots and scoring
But
40 a game and all this shit. And it's like KD was the face of the league. It's like you don't. It's not like Tatum. Like, oh, I'm the face of this league. It's like no,
no,
no.
I
You just
can't. Hold
play
on, hold
if
on.
you play well enough.
What are we doing here? Are we saying Tatum's not a face of the league?
No, I think he's a face of the league. But
Okay, okay.
saying I'm the face of the league doesn't make you the face of the league. Saying I don't want to be one doesn't make you the face, not the face of the league. If Ant, like when Ant went on that tear last playoffs, it
Mm-hmm.
was oh here's Jordan
Yeah. See, the problem is, like, Braun fucked the game up. He's
for real.
been the
He
face.
set the bar way too high.
He's been the face for the longest.
20
and
plus
and
years.
and even like in the NFL, like Tom Brady fucked the game up. Like these guys have
Yeah.
been the face for 2+ decades,
Hmm.
and I mean, and the thing is about LeBron is when he's sitting there going like, I didn't choose it, and it does suck. It's like, bro, you were definitely calling yourself the chosen one, and
The
you were
king.
like, my problem with LeBron sitting here,
He was calling himself the best player in the world real early. The best
well,
player ever real early.
there's two sides of this. There's the him talking about people covering the game, which I want to talk about in a sec, but then it's also him feeding that negativity on being or about being the face of the NBA is almost selfish in a way. And I'm not saying on purpose, but it's selfish in a way because LeBron has obviously taken it full advantage of being the face of the
He is
NBA
the biggest
and
benefit
has
of this.
benefited so much, the most out of anybody from being the face of the NBA.
Of
So
course.
for him to sit there and say, I don't blame him. It's like I really wish maybe it was a different route. And it's like, like if you talk to
And
Ant,
it's
it's like Ant. If you are the face of the NBA, it's like and Ant seems. I'm not gonna sit here and pocket watch, but he seems like someone that's gonna be about his bag. And if you're the face of the NBA, that bag is just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger.
and that's what the thing is like with like is being shit talked on the internet by Stephen A. Smith the worst thing about being the face of the league?
Well, okay. Here's the
Like,
fun.
does that deter you from being a better basketball
But
player or a
you
more
gotta
exciting basketball player?
you gotta take the good with the bad. I mean, okay, yes,
Yeah,
people get online or go on TV. Now he said specifically people who cover the game on a day-to-day basis. So to me, that's gotta be people like Stephen A. Because he's probably not
yeah,
even thinking of fans or people on social media or like people like me and you who just have a podcast. He's
sure,
talking about people who actually speak for the NBA media.
yeah,
They shit on the game. But to me, it's like if you're the face of the NBA, the problem is everybody's a face of something. Tatum, if he's not
hmm,
the face of the NBA, he's a face of the Celtics. Shai's a face of the Thunder. Wemby's the face of the Spurs. Like Jokic is the face of the Nuggets. If they're not faces of the NBA, they're the faces of something. I
yeah,
mean, it's the same thing for any job or company, or you're just representing yourself. Period.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
the face of something. So to sit here and pretend like you don't want to be the face of the NBA because there's a little more pressure on you in this day and age, there's more conversations being had off the air and not on ESPN anyways, and putting more pressure on someone's legacy and whatnot, and expectations rise more and more in Twitter feeds than what Stephen A. Smith says. But if we want to just talk
yeah.
about what Stephen A. Smith says, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, whoever, they get on TV, they talk about basketball, they say they have their hot takes like everybody else does.
Yeah.
They talk about interesting things. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think LeBron's obviously the most biased person to talk about it because and it's like, bro,
He's
I don't want to
he's
shit
still
on
the face.
Bron, but it's like yes, you're still the face and you're still benefiting crazy from being the face of the NBA and will for many many years to come after you retire from the NBA because let's be real,
He'll still be the
and
face.
especially the way these young stars are acting, where they don't even want to be the face. LeBron's still gonna
Sure.
be a damn face. He's gonna be an owner of a team and actually
Yeah.
like care and like want to be there and like want them to win and not be like Mike and just be like fuck it, we suck. But
For real. Yeah.
either way, I'm all over the place just because there's so much to say about this. LeBron,
Well,
I think
and
if
well, and it's also like him being like, "Oh, that's what Wemby's for." It's like Wemby's. I don't know. I don't want to shit on Wemby or
well, I have a
sort of
different reason for
guess where his
Wemby.
career is gonna go or whatever. But this dude's 7'4". We've never seen anybody like this. Um, but at the same time, it's like it's not the most exciting style of basketball. This dude is a foot away from the rim. He can like it's not the wild. I don't know. It's not the same as watching a prime Steph Curry or a prime KD or a
There's
prime Bron or anything like that.
there's only a select few of players that truly I think didn't want to be the face of the NBA, but as even though they were still pushed as a face, they just didn't care. Like it's not like they pushed back. Like
Mm.
an obvious one is like Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't give a shit.
getting
Now,
agree.
obviously, he's gonna do his New Balance commercials. He's gonna do this. He's gonna get his money. But in terms of being the face of the NBA, he doesn't care.
No,
KD purely just wants to hoop.
yeah, for real.
KD wants to hoop, and we all know he is a face of the NBA, and he knows he's a face of the NBA, but he don't care.
Fuck yeah.
But he's not coming out and saying like, "Man, like I don't
He's
give
like,
a
man, I
fuck."
just wish I didn't have this many people saying I'm good at basketball.
So I don't know. I don't like the.
Well, I think the face of the NBA conversation is just wrong. I don't think it's
But
a chosen thing. You don't choose to be it.
But LeBron is being biased and he's being I'm so flustered with words right now. I wish I could think of other words, but he's he had a podcast a year ago.
With JJ.
I mean, he was talking on the internet about shit. Like, I mean, like, are we not going to pretend like he's not going to go in this same direction, same career path post NBA or post basketball, and not sit down and talk about what's going on in the NBA and all this? And he's never going to say a negative word. Never.
Right.
We're going to remember this. We're going to remember this for the next 20, 30 years if we're still doing this damn fucking podcast. If LeBron James, he better not say one negative thing, because I think year after year after year, I think he grows a bigger, I don't know. I think he just hates the media more and more. But honestly, it's like when you are playing at this level, at this age, and you've been doing it for this long, you got certain expectations. And sadly, people like you and fucking Tom Brady have made people think that everybody is supposed to be like you and play for 2 decades and never get hurt and just be an absolute specimen. It's like, LeBron, you can sit there and say, maybe, like, he's probably coming from a good place where it's like, I'm LeBron.
Yeah, I think he's trying to support
like
and like how he feels about being that popular or whatever. But
like, I'm LeBron, and I think I've taken on this pressure well. I wouldn't, but maybe he's, I wouldn't.
He wouldn't put that on somebody else.
I wouldn't want somebody else to try to take this amount of pressure. But it's like, then you got your son coming into the league, and people are talking shit about him on television. It's like, I think he's just more and more. He's like, man, fuck the media, whatever.
At the same time, it's like, he's like, who would want to be a face of this league? It's like you still want to be a face of this league. You're still the face of this league.
So I'm pretty sure there's a former
and to
face.
blame it on shit. The one thing that LeBron has had his entire career is people comparing him to Mike, people comparing him to every other great basketball player of all time.
I mean, but LeBron,
and still not getting his flowers, and he's gonna complain about it now. It's like, who gives a shit? You're the greatest basketball player ever. Fuck what the media says.
LeBron did that to himself, though. He was the chosen one. He was the new 23. He was not winning 6, not 7, not 8, not like he put all this pressure on himself.
You think about that. That's fucking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years into his career.
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting here 20 years into his career, and he's now flipped.
And now he's like, man, I don't know why you'd want to be the face of the NBA. It's just, it definitely makes.
Bro, you're a billionaire.
Absolutely no sense. It's pretty.
Now Bron doesn't have 8 illegitimate kids, but you never know.
But it's just the same way. Like I said, how everybody is a face of something. Luka, Steph, Bron, Jokic, Joel Embiid, Giannis. They're all the face of their teams. They're all faces of the NBA. They all get the good and the bad. Bron is just at the top of that. I mean, it's just it is what it is. So,
well, I think you're just waiting on a consistent domination from one player, and I think Jokic has done that, but it's not exciting.
Well, okay, let's bring up the elephant in the room, and I'm only saying this because I've heard it so many times. I feel like you have to just throw this on the table.
You got to win a chip.
No, just throw this on the table and see what happens. Throw it at the wall and see if it sticks, Devin. So a lot of former players that are talking about this, they've made a point to say that the face of the NBA kind of sort of has to be American and or speak English.
Speak English well, yes.
Like, and then they brought up, like, bro, it's like Jokic don't even give a fuck. Like, it's like even if,
And that's the thing. It's like, well, but I think if Jokic, even if he gave a fuck or not, if his play style was more exciting, I think he would be a bigger face.
but
Like, I don't think it's just kind of personality.
but the problem is, I don't know why everybody's acting like there has to just be one face. Like
No,
when we
well,
look at
but
eras,
that's kind of the natural. There will be someone who, out of the 8 people who are faces, there will be someone who will rise to the top and take over that
I
face.
don't think so though. I
But
don't I
at
don't.
some point, I mean,
But okay,
after Mike and after
besides,
Kobe and after Shaq and all that stuff, you wouldn't think that there would be another
but you're saying all this
Bron
like
Hunter.
but it's just like but if every single year there's a different champion or there's different finals matchups, no, it's gonna be just there's plenty of faces in the league. Luca,
Yeah.
you got. I mean, Luca. We'll see. Obviously, he's gonna be the face of the Lakers and continue to be the face of the NBA. You got Jokic. We don't know what's going on over there, but bro's gonna keep winning.
Well, then I mean, I guess it'll revert to kind of what it was back in the '70s and '80s, where it was Larry and
But
Magic
even if
and
you
a
go
few other dudes.
But even if you don't go that far back, I mean, if you look at like when you just think of that's the thing. It's like Bird, Magic. It's like you just automatically you can start listing. You don't have to just go with one person and just go.
Yeah,
That's what it was. I think. I
it's
think
kind of what it was during Mike's era, but
I think it's gonna be Tatum, and then you got Ant obviously, and I think Ja's bouncing back from obviously off the court bullshit that probably pulled him down from the NBA wanting to make him the face of the NBA. But
I mean, he
when he was
was before that happened. He was real close. It was a It was
he
awesome.
was like probably where like Shy is, I guess now.
He was above Shaq.
Dude, the Shy guys
I
are
no,
crazy.
I no, but pure popularity. I think Shai gets more like that MVP look and all that stuff, and team leader look and all
But
that.
that's
But
what I'm talking about though.
the Ja
You're talking
hype,
about,
the Ja popularity, the
but
Ja face of the NBA was so big, dude.
like you just said though, who is in MVP conversations? Who's in MVP conversations?
Shai is, but
I think
it was
Ja.
Ja's like,
If
no, this
that
is Ja.
bullshit didn't if that bullshit didn't happen, I think Ja was right there where it was all right. Boom, I'm here. I'm gonna just keep consistently playing, and I'm the MVP. I'm in the MVP
See, but
conversation.
no, I think that's where like excitement, like your level of exciting play comes in. It's like no, Shy's cool, but it's not to the level of how exciting John Morant is to watch.
I guess, but if you're not winning, you're not the face.
Agreed, but
Who's been the face? Who you think? So if you think if Steph
but
Curry
there
just
have been people who have won and not been a face. Jokic isn't
yeah,
the
but not
face,
the
and he's
opposite though.
been winning.
Nobody's losing and is the face.
LeBron lost a ton.
Okay, he went to 8 straight finals, which meant he
Yeah.
won a lot of basketball games.
Yes.
So if Steph Curry just continued to make a bunch of threes but didn't go anywhere in the playoffs, he would not be Steph Curry. But he won basketball games
Agreed.
and like it mattered. So
Agreed.
I'm like you have to win to be a face. Like there's no way to argue that. You can
Yeah.
lose.
I mean, agreed.
You can win and not be the face,
For
but
sure.
you can lose. Like I'm saying, like
Not in a metro.
Toronto wins, and you know what? Instead of just staying here and maybe building with the team I won with, and can continue to build my popularity and literally this entire country who's has my back, I'm gonna just go to the Clippers. Like Kawhi didn't want to be the face. Fuck that. I'm
Well,
gonna
I
do
mean,
that.
I think if he stayed a Raptor, I mean, there's no way they would have number one made the championship again or won a championship.
Like Jimmy got a lot of praise. Jimmy got a lot of love. But if Jimmy pulled out one of those fucking dubs in the finals, oh my
Oh,
god.
no, you're right.
Oh
You're
my
right.
god. The face. You want to talk about a face? Come on.
That Jimmy
Come on,
shit. I
Devin.
mean, yeah, if he beat the Lakers and well, he beat the Nuggets, that would have been
Gotta win.
awesome.
You
But they
gotta
got
win
4-0
must win
and
that
4-1,
game.
right?
Yeah.
4-0 against the Lakers, right? 4-1.
4-1,
I think it
4-2.
was 4-1 in both series. Maybe 4-2.
Did they not make a game 6? Either way, who cares?
No, it
But
was 4-2. Lakers 4-1 Nuggets.
um I think at the end of the day, the face of the NBA is not the worst fucking thing to be given LeBron. So the way
It's
the
not,
way he's acting like it's like the craziest thing or the
but it
worst
is. I mean,
title
it's.
ever.
I don't know.
Everybody's a face of something, and I think there's
The
a lot
thing
of
is, it's
faces of
like
the
the
NBA.
next face will not be as good as LeBron James, and that's fair to say because he is.
We don't need another LeBron James. If you're telling me instead of another LeBron James, I can get, and we're talking all healthy,
I
and
can
we
get
actually get to
10
watch
good
them.
players
I can get
on
yes,
10 different teams.
I can get Ant, I can get John, I can get Tatum, I can get Luka. It's like I can get all these guys. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
But we look at all these years of like the kind of same way people are already like think about how sick of the Patriots people were and how quick people got sick of the Chiefs.
for real.
Like it's like
People were so sick of the Patriots
people are gonna get,
forever.
but it's like but people didn't let Kansas City breathe.
No,
Kansas City won, came back, and they were like, all right, we're over this. And then they were
for
now
real.
we're sitting here, they damn, or we're on the road to a three-peat. But either way, I there's nothing wrong with being the face. There's multiple faces of the NBA,
Yeah, but I mean,
and
shit. Like if you look at it, it's like James Harden for a little bit was when he was peaking, he was
James
becoming.
Harden is a face of was a face of the NBA.
I know, but like at his peak, that was close to like Steph level, but just without the winning. Like if James Harden found a way for the Rockets to beat the Warriors one of those years, made a
Yeah,
finals.
but they were he was. But that's the thing, though. You okay? Let me correct what I'm saying, because I do see what you're saying, because you kind of caught me where I said you have to win, and I said you can lose. But let me
Yeah.
correct what I'm saying though. I think there's a there's a limit. Like
Well, I think you more meant you don't have to win championships, but you have to
you
be
just got to
there.
be a winner. You got to be in the
Yeah,
conversation.
and it's like no,
That's
like no,
that's
you're
more
right.
what I
Like
meant.
with Ja, it's like he's not close to winning championships.
No, I'm well,
He's
it's even
barely making playoffs.
correct. He's barely being able to
He's
get
barely
on
on
the
the
court.
court.
That's what I'm saying. So it's
Yeah,
like let's get back to job playing, and boom, another face added.
yeah.
There we go. That's all we need.
Zion as well.
But that's the thing.
He's got to get out of New Orleans though.
Zion absolutely would have been a face of the NBA.
Yeah,
Dude, fucking Lonzo Ball would have been a face of the
for real.
NBA. Like I mean, like I'm saying, like we were so close to getting so many different faces of the NBA. It's not
Of
even
course.
funny.
I mean, we still
Um,
are.
I mean, right now you're looking at like I mean, I think everybody I kind of named. The problem is you still got the old heads, Bron, Steph, KD, but then like I said, Ant, Tatum, Luka, Jokic, fucking Embiid when he's healthy, or Shy coming
This
up.
Embiid
I mean,
shit's real bullshit.
we're gonna talk about that in a second because I do have one segment that I want to bring that. But I want to talk about something else that's NBA related because who would think we had this much NBA to talk about, Devin, during the NBA
It's
season?
nuts.
But
Insane.
I can't remember. It was either Gilbert's podcast or Teague's podcast. It was somebody's podcast, and they made a comment where they said there's only about six, give or take, there's only about six teams every year that are actually trying to win championships. And what
You're
he meant by
trying
that
to win
was,
championships?
sure, there's plenty of teams who say, there's way more than six teams that are saying every year we want to win a championship,
Of
but
course.
a lot are just trying to make money, keep fans happy, keep the rich guys in the suites happy, like just
Mm-hmm.
sell merch, get a
Mm-hmm.
superstar to sell more jerseys, just certain shit like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that made me think of like, all right, let's get the top like 20 teams. I'm just give you the name, and you're just gonna tell me, are they playing to win? Are they playing for that bread? It's
Yeah,
as
I mean,
simple.
I
It's as
thought
simple
about
as
this.
that.
Maybe I talked about it weeks ago, but I thought it was in my head. It was like I think it was more than six. So, like my
So,
prediction for the amount of teams, I think it'll be more than six.
so can
Um,
we can we can
but there
we
is a substantial amount of teams that are clearly not trying to win a championship and know that.
can we draw a line? Like, what's wrong? Like, I feel like 6 to 8.
Sure.
Like, if we come down to it, and there's only like four. It's like, wow, this is a money hungry league. But if we go up to like 10 or 12, it's like, all right, maybe more teams are trying than we thought.
Sure.
But I feel like 6 to 8, like, but okay, if your guess is definitely over 6 though.
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
But
let's think. Let's think then.
we haven't gone through it really.
So obviously, some of these are going to be obvious win or bread, but some of them I do have. I am curious. So Boston, I mean, win. They're on a road to repeat, so there's no question about them. They're a win. Now, 76ers.
That one's so weird.
Is it though? I think it's
But no.
100% trust the profit. I mean, it
True.
is. I mean, what are we talking about here? It's we're gonna bring in our MVP and he's not gonna play back to backs, and guess what? We're gonna sit him anyways, and we're gonna bring Paul George over, and we're gonna bring James Harden over, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and
We're gonna bring Jimmy over.
We have been trusting the process for what, 10 years?
Close to 10 years.
10 years now? Like the process has been, we're gonna keep making this money and just being like talked about enough to make even more money. We're not changing shit. Like we're not winning. We're not winning shit.
No, they've never, like, I don't know, done a full revamp. Well, it's because they can't really. They got Joel. So
they tried though. I mean, they've tried over the years
they tried.
to add shit to Joel, but look. I think they're 100%. I think they're definitely not in the win category. I think they're in that money category, Devin.
Yep.
Minnesota. We're talking about future stars or faces of the NBA. They're 100% banking on their face of the NBA. I mean, they trade away.
Cat's weird.
They break apart. They break up a team that was in the finals last year, or sorry, a round away from
conference
being
finals,
a round away from being in the finals a year ago.
Yeah.
Maybe one more piece away from being in the finals.
Yeah.
And instead, they kind of take a step backwards and say, "We're kind of good with just how much like love Ant gets here."
Now let's make this year based. Yeah, this year.
No. This year in particular.
Yeah.
This year in particular, 100% not trying to win a single game.
For a second there, I was thinking more like just how these teams operate. But
because
this year, not
the statement, and this was like Kenyon Martin or someone. It was he said every year. There's only like 6 teams. So Golden State.
Yes.
I think that's a win.
This year, yes. Yeah.
They made a move for Jimmy. Shit, they wanted to make a move for KD. They absolutely.
Now, I'm not sure if they have championship hopes, but I mean, I think anytime you got Steph, there's a championship hope. So
they're shocking me a little bit. Just, I mean, and Steph's been playing his fucking ass off.
He's been playing.
He just balled out in Madison Square Garden tonight. He's been going crazy. Yeah. Denver is an obvious that's an obvious win. Now OKC.
Yeah.
This is where it gets tricky, especially with this year thing, because I think the outcome of this season plus what they do this next off season will really, really show. Y'all going to win, or y'all just going to bank on this, Shy and Chet, and we're just gonna have superstars. If they break any of that core up, I think that gives you their answer.
Well, if you break any of the core up if you break the core up a little bit for a bigger or better piece, maybe. But if you break some shit up just because for the fuck of it, or
for Julius Randle.
I was about to say. I was like, who did the Timberwolves get for Cat? It's fucking Julius Randle. So, if they're on some bullshit, then no. But I mean, it's hard to say that a 51 team doesn't want to win.
I was gonna say it would be unfair to say they're not win.
Yeah,
they're 100% win. Lakers
win, but weird.
So for right now,
it's weird that they're playing so well.
So for right now,
but I like it.
I got to eat my words. Now, I also said they're going to ball in the regular season, and I need to see what happens in the post. I need to see what happens in the postseason because I have no clue.
I mean, shit, we still got a ton of regular season games left.
We do, but they're second in the West, bro.
I know.
They're number 2 in the West.
We were definitely wrong about
LeBron is still putting up MVP.
How good that Mavericks team could have been. Huh?
No, sorry. I'm going to ask you what you just said in a second. But LeBron is putting up MVP Heat numbers right now.
For
MVP, Braun Heat numbers right now, bro.
for
Like they are playing their asses off. They're absolutely. And the thing with the Lakers is their moves bring their winning moves bring money. Like bringing in Luca,
yes,
duh, we're gonna win games in the future and make hella money off of Luca being on this team. We're gonna bring Wilt and win, and but obviously we have Wilt fucking
I
Chamberlain. We got
will
Kareem.
Kareem.
Hey Shaq, you want to come over here? You're the biggest superstar. You're one of the biggest
Yep.
superstars in the NBA. It's like no, they bring. Eventually LeBron decides to go over to
Shit,
LA. It's like
Kobe was a trade, no?
Kobe was a
Was he a
trade at
trade or
draft
just a
day.
draft swap? Yeah,
He was a
whatever it is.
draft day. He was a draft day trade.
Yeah.
Um, LA is in the win category. But what did you say about Dallas and us being wrong about them?
We weren't wrong about them, but everyone is now hurt and the team's in shambles.
So Dallas is 100% money. I mean, they're one of the
Fuck yeah.
teams. They're one of the teams that inspired this segment.
But here's the thing. I really hope they're not trying to win. You know? I hope that they didn't think that Kyrie, Clay, and AD would
Bro,
be
but if
a
Kyrie doesn't tear his
was their
ACL,
peak.
if Kyrie
Huh?
doesn't tear his ACL,
And AD comes
if AD
back.
doesn't get hurt, if Gafford doesn't sprain his knee, that's a cool lineup.
I know, but we're looking at but that's the risk that you run with an
It's
AD.
a risk,
And that's the thing about any team that AD's on. It's like once you lose AD, especially if he's the biggest star, you're cooked.
but the problem is, it's like maybe they thought that they were risking running through a unathletic, out of shape alcoholic, or
Whatever. He's a
whatever they're calling him
fucking
on the internet.
superstar.
But okay, he's a superstar, absolutely. But the problem is, like they call him like Baby Jokic and shit. It's like
Yeah,
Jokic can win championships playing his way, including because of his size.
you're right.
Like if
Luca
he was
has to
this,
move a little bit more.
yeah, like
But
Luca's not the size of Jokic, but he plays
you
like
never
bro.
looked at Jokic. I mean, you never looked at Luca and was like, obviously, but it's the defensive aspect of the ball. Maybe they wanted more help over there. Because honestly, last year it didn't work once they got to the finals. They were kind of fucked playing that eight-headed monster of fucking Boston. But ah,
I thought Lakers were more on the money move just because I didn't think they were going to be able to work it out with their bigs, but it seems like it's been working out for now.
it's working out fine.
But Dallas,
Um,
absolutely money move.
it's just diarrhea.
I'll just yeah. They inspired this segment. Another team that is always money move. Clippers.
The biggest money
I
movers.
mean, yeah.
They've
I
never
mean,
wanted to win a basketball game.
like you know where we should
Kind of
have.
just happens. That's a bunch of bullshit, but I
You know
said
where
it.
we should have a second team. The city with the biggest and most popular basketball team. We're definitely not just trying
True.
to pinch off any little
Yeah, we're
crumbs
not
that
just trying to fucking.
comes into LA for
We're
basketball.
not trying to build a fucking the biggest, most expensive stadium in all of fucking sports
The
for nothing.
biggest inspiration for this one though, for this segment, Phoenix.
Money.
I mean, and the fact that they didn't make a move
They didn't
at
make a move.
at the
They
break. I
didn't
mean,
give
okay.
Katie what he wanted in terms of getting him the fuck out of there.
So it's like that's the thing. It's like, do we trade KD and pay out, like, buy out all those like unsold jerseys? Do we just like maybe hope
Well,
some
then
more
there was.
jerseys get sold?
Did you see the stuff with Book and the head coach, whose name I'm forgetting?
What? No.
The head coach went up to Book and was like, "You need to stop being so vocal." He's like, "I'm the leader of this team. You need to not."
I mean, the NBA is a player-led league. I
For
don't know what. Well, I don't know what a head coach thinks.
you're a
What
fucking idiot.
I don't know why a head coach thinks he can do his job in the NBA. There's
For real.
there's
It's
no
like Doc
world.
Rivers going to Milwaukee being like, "Oh no, this is my team. I'm
Yeah.
Doc Rivers.
Bye.
Hey, I'm fucking Dame and Giannis." But that's what they need to do with fucking Doc's dumbass. Get him the fuck out of there.
Um.
Because if they win a chip, it's gonna be like, "Oh, Doc Rivers wins another championship." It's not gonna be like, "Yo, Dame and fucking Giannis fuck the world."
It better be Damian Giannis. Fuck the world.
It better be. But there's gonna be
Um.
hella Doc Rivers bullshit going on.
Cleveland win.
Win, but
Like you said,
this
bro, you can't have that many wins and we can't say
you
not
you
win.
can't be that dominant right now and
And
call it
Milwaukee,
money move. Also, Cleveland's market is not like an OKC market or anything. They're not marketing this team like it's the big three. They're just
no,
cool. They're chilling. They're winning games.
they're balling.
They're
And I
balling.
think we brought up Milwaukee. I think they fall in the win category as well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what Dame is. Dame's a hooper. Dame with the ball.
especially like you would think like just for terms of like namesake, and if we were actually worried about any type of money, like we wouldn't trade away Chris Middleton and maybe think that Kyle Kuzma's a better fit for this team.
Yeah,
But then they pulled that trigger anyways. It's like, oh no, y'all are still trying to make moves that just gonna keep helping y'all win more games. It's
yeah,
no, they're trying to win for sure.
of
They're
course.
absolutely, and especially for the like we talked about. I don't know how long Dame's gonna sit there and wait to win a championship in Milwaukee, but
Yeah,
um, I think maybe a couple more years.
depending on how Giannis's next few years go, we'll see.
Memphis,
No,
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 okay, I'm not gonna argue it. New Orleans,
fuck ass no.
and then last team I threw up there were the Spurs.
They were,
They absolutely were,
they were,
and
they
I
were
think
for
that
sure.
counts.
Getting
De'Aaron,
De'Aaron Fox, it was a
but
huge
making the move
move.
for Fox, I think they absolutely like it, and
Now,
I think it counts too.
yeah, but I think realistically, I don't think they would have been near a championship, but they could have made the playoffs and
No, but that's the thing though. They were nowhere near a championship, and we're still making moves to build this team. I mean,
true.
they could have,
And the moves that they were making felt like future moves, which I mean, Wemby should be good to go by the start of next season.
hopefully.
Um, I think they're just taking a big precaution on this blood clot thing. At this point in the season, probably shouldn't put him back in at any point. You don't have to.
Yeah, no, there's really no point.
So
But
yeah, I think next year they're going to be kind of a win now team, and
I will include them in the win category. Which that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that want to win in the NBA right now. So
seven and a
just
half,
so just about what we seven and a half teams that actually want to win in the NBA
seven
right
eight
now.
teams, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, then he
Which
was
is yeah,
right. He was absolutely right. How many
of
teams want
course.
to
I
win in
mean,
the
because you can
NBA?
take out one of those teams probably.
About 6 or 7. About 6 or 7
Perfect.
want to win. The rest are just about their bread, which I can respect that. I can respect it.
But I mean, I think some GMs just suck. Honestly, I for real think that like yes, you are making money, but you could
Okay,
try a little bit harder and be better and still win.
okay, but if you're like the Giants GM, like there's no way you're not just fucking around with house money when you're like, "Hey kid, what do you think?" And
For
then
real.
like I'm just saying like some of these GMs just don't give a
But
shit
I'm
and just
not
like
sure that GMs are out to here like,
cut the check.
yo, let's make the most money we possibly can and suck at basketball. I know. I think GMs are just truly like not good at their job
No, no,
sometimes.
no, no. It's make as much money as we can, and maybe that comes with winning a certain amount of games, like I don't know the Clippers, but
Sure. Well, then there's
we're
also having the ability to draft in the lottery. It's pretty big.
okay, okay.
So there's some pull down to that side now.
Well,
And
that's why.
that's the thing about having a big lottery
Mm,
and having a ton of playoff teams
see,
is
but
that there's going to be those teams looking for those playoff spots, and then there's going to be those teams looking for the lottery, and it's about 10 on each side. The rest have to figure out where they're going. There's not a lot of middle,
but
unless you
see,
like the Rockets.
but that's why I only included like half the league in that segment,
For real. Yeah.
because I obviously the teams that are playing like
The
shit
Wizards
are
are not trying to win.
no, and the
So,
Wizards are just making money because they have merch and like
yeah.
sell food at their games and have
Yeah.
tickets.
It was
Like,
funny. It was like Middleton. We traded for Middleton, and someone was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna flip Middleton into a bigger piece," and I was like, "That's not what." We're not doing that.
That's
We're
not
way
the
too dumb to do
no.
something like that.
They were getting Kyle out of purgatory. That's what was happening.
For real.
But all right, a conversation that I'm kind of, I don't, I'll use the word excited. I'm excited to have
Mm-hmm.
because I brought it up and you quickly, because I said I want to talk about it on the pod, so I don't really want to discuss it off the pod. But I brought it up for a swift second. You were like, I don't know, and I was I couldn't get your vibe.
Oh,
I couldn't get your vibe on it, and I honestly want to say we've had this conversation on the podcast before.
I don't know if we have. I don't know
I think
what my take was then.
what I'm talking about is Travis Hunter, Shohei Ohtani. That
Yeah.
conversation, obviously. I
Yeah.
feel like we've had maybe a conversation about it. Like I remember there being something like, what would be harder, playing both ways, this and that, like whatever the fact is, whatever it was. Travis Hunter said that what he does is harder than what Shohei Ohtani does in the MLB. How do you feel about that statement?
Well, I think there's a lot of different kind of parts of that. Number one, I think it's clickbaity. I think it's Travis trying to just say shit. And at the same time, it's like you got Shador and Travis who are about to get drafted, and they're out here commenting on this and that, and neither of them are doing anything combine related. They're going to do their pro day or whatever the fuck. So I don't know. It's like it's very stupid that they're
Well,
involved in
it's
this stuff. But no, the statement is meant to bring eyeballs, but I don't think that he can compare himself. Like it's like comparing.
say it. Just say it.
Well, no,
Say it. No, say
I
it.
don't think just because you play two ways in a sport doesn't mean it's like comparing yourself to a midfielder in soccer. It's like, oh, you can run and play defense and you can run and play. It's a completely different sport. It's a completely different thing. But the biggest thing is like Shohei Ohtani is not only one of the best hitters in the world, he's also one of the best pitchers in the world. Travis Hunter has not shown either of those things. He is not a top tier. He's not played in the NFL, so we don't know if he's a top wide receiver, and we definitely don't know if he's a top DB. So we don't know if he's a top one of them, let alone two of them. Shohei
So,
Ohtani is a top two of them.
all right. All right. All right. Okay. Here's the thing. Yes, it would be harder being the Ohtani of the NFL. If there
Yeah,
truly was an
yeah,
Ohtani of the NFL, that would be a harder thing to become, to be. Um, Here's the problem.
yes,
Travis Hunter is not the Ohtani of the NFL. He has the best opportunity.
but only because he plays both ways
That's what I'm
or
saying.
wants to play both ways.
He has the best chance. He has the best opportunity. But then and just this is just a very vague thing, but I think, and it doesn't matter at all, but I think there's other athletes in the NFL that if given the opportunity to play both sides could probably do better.
Exactly.
But
You
that's
have
just
better athletes in the NFL right now
mhm.
who just because of the way football is set up through Pee Wee, high school, and college, you play one position, you pick one position at a certain level. So if someone wanted to, they could. But the thing about Shohei is that there could be a lot of guys in the MLB who are good hitters. You can go out and pitch, you're not going to be very good.
Now you
It's like
tell
you
me,
can be mediocre at one or both of those things.
and you tell me if I'm tripping because I'm the last person to. I'm not a baseball guy at all. I'm not a baseball guy. I love New Era's run with MLB hats, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not a baseball guy, but this is truly how I feel. And you tell me if I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think besides the top tier NFL players, and I'm talking like, okay, what's the hardest position in the NFL? Quarterback. Boom. So we're only going to talk about them.
Yeah.
Get rid of all receivers, get rid of all running backs, DBs, whoever.
Yep.
and we're talking just quarterbacks, and the top tier ones, the ones that are that can't even be replicated, the Brady's, the Mahomes, the Lamars,
Mm-hmm.
the generational talents
Yep.
at that position specifically
Yep.
is the only thing you can put over hitting a baseball in baseball.
Sure.
Like in terms of like, I get the whole hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports, but because there's so many other easy things to do in the sport of baseball, it kind of waters it down at times or takes away from how hard that one thing is.
Sure.
Like no, like, and every NFL player could could go out there and play in the outfield. Like they could, they could,
Like
they could.
if you were yeah
Like if
like
you train them to
it's the
fucking
same
go.
thing as it's a much easier version of
It's the same way as
punt
saying
return.
you can field anyone can field if they're fielding a punt with no pressure, with nobody running at them
Sure.
full speed. They
Sure.
can do that. They
You can catch a
and a
ball.
lot of these quarterbacks play baseball. A lot of these NFL players play baseball. Period.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
just quarterbacks, but if you want to go in the quarterback route, whatever. I truly think, no matter how good of a DB or wide receiver you think Travis Hunter is, he's not the best pure wide receiver. And when it
Not
comes
even
down to
close.
it, DB wise, sure, but I don't know if he's even the best pure corner in this draft, let alone
We
the
don't know that
pool of NFL players.
of NFL players already there.
So
So I don't know. It's very annoying to me. I mean, yeah, I just because you play both ways, I mean, it doesn't mean that you are like, yeah, sure, you can make the comparison that, yeah,
like, and
you
you're
play
not,
both ways or whatever, but it's not the same fucking thing.
and as a receiver in DB, it's like you're not going to have, if you are the best receiver and best corner in the NFL at the same time, you're
Hmm.
still nowhere near the same amount of impact if you're the best hitter and best pitcher at the same damn time.
For real.
Like,
Yeah.
no. Okay, so
No,
you're the two.
it's
You're
like
the
you are
two.
the it's like you're the best quarterback and you're the best D end. You have the most sacks and you have the most
Yes,
touchdowns.
yes. Like you. It would, and that's something that would literally be impossible. Because even saying like
Impossible.
if Lamar was the best ball hawk, it's like that
For real.
still doesn't, like, being the best safety / best quarterback. It's like obviously never would happen. But even in that comparison, it would
Yeah.
be, what would make more sense is, no, you being to absolutely blow up any play from the defensive, from the edge, but
Yeah.
also be able to play like fucking Patrick Mahomes on the offensive
Yeah.
side of the ball.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just,
Shohei won has won MVP. Now he hasn't won MVP and Cy Young, which is best pitcher in his league, but um, he's been hurt, and I mean he doesn't pitch as much as a regular pitcher would. But I mean he already broke. He's the only player to have 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. He's done this for 8+ years now. Won a World Series. Travis hasn't started his NFL career. We have no idea if he's even a good DB, if he's a good
and
receiver. Maybe he's the best of both, but
he
that's a
could be, bro.
fucking
He
tough
might be
thing to do.
he might go out there and be a great
And
DB.
if he does, power to him. He hasn't done it yet.
But he's not fucking Shohei
He
Ohtani.
hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it. But if he does do it, we can have that conversation. But
But
he's not
he's
there.
not going. There will never be, between effort, between impact, between teamwork, between how the game of football works. There will never be an Ohtani of the NFL.
There can't
Never.
be.
There will never be. The two best things, or the two hardest things in baseball, doesn't
Or
include
hitting
your
and pitching.
teammates.
Or what?
Like, or doesn't include your teammates. Like, you can just solely be the best at that, and you don't need to rely on 10 other guys. If you can
Pitching
be the,
sometimes, yeah, but hitting
fuck
no.
that. If you, well, pitch, it's up to you if he's gonna hit that damn ball or not. It's up to one guy.
True.
It's up to one guy, Devin.
True.
It ain't up to anybody else but the
But
person
once he does
pitching
hit
that
it,
motherfucker.
it's kind of
Sure.
important.
What happened once he hits it? The easier shit, the people that,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
easier shit happens. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, okay. You know what's hard? You know what's probably harder than all that? Fucking line drive straight to Ohtani, having to, or any other pitcher having to catch one of them. That's probably
Sure.
even harder than having to go out there and do whatever else they do in the outfield or in the field in general. Either way,
Catching a live drive to the face well, to the dome is
There's
scary,
there will never be an
tough.
Ohtani of the NFL. It's just not. It's not possible. You have to. There's too many moving parts. There's too many people to rely on, and that's why I said the NFL. That's why I just said quarterback, because it's kind of hard to even say quarterback over that, because if you're just saying in terms of just throwing the football, sure, but then we're throwing in reading a defense and having all
Yeah.
that pressure on you, and just being a fucking quarterback in the NFL. I
To
mean, shit, remembering a playbook. I mean, it's just
yeah,
it's those types of things that put it over,
yeah,
that puts them over the edge of just
yeah,
hitting a baseball in my eyes.
yeah. But
It's
yeah,
not.
I think for Lamar, for him to be Shohei Ohtani, which he kind of is, just because he's the best dual threat quarterback we've ever seen
That's on one side of the game, though.
on one side of the game, sure. But I mean, yeah, it would him, yeah, it would him. He would have to play both sides.
It can be
Um,
Lamar, it can be McCaffrey, it can be whoever, whatever dual threat, Deebo Samuel, can be whatever dual threat you want to bring up. It's not somebody who is leading the league in sacks and passing touchdowns.
yeah,
That would
but
be the Ohtani of the NFL.
the thing about Otani is, like, if he sucked at pitching, or if he was okay at pitching, if he had a 5 ERA compared to a 3 ERA, he probably wouldn't be pitching. It's like, if Travis Hunter can't catch a ball for shit,
Thank you.
he's not going to be playing receiver.
Thank you. And I really
So, like,
hope,
you have to be at the top of the top to play both in the NFL, and it's going to be very, very hard.
and I really, really, really hope that he does stick to just playing on the defense side of the ball. But the problem with them just doing their pro day, Devin, and this is solely my conspiracy. I could be completely wrong, but in my eyes, you can so easily manipulate a pro day.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's the thing. It's like, the funny thing about, and it's kind of expected from this camp with Shador. It's like, you can kind of really only hurt yourself from
Throwing to
throwing at the
guys you've
combine.
never thrown to before. And because like, what was it? Was
Well,
it
but
Will?
that's such bullshit, because they're he's out here defending Will Howard. Meanwhile, Jackson Dart is out here bringing up his draft stock. There's guys out here who were projected fourth rounds who are bringing their stock back up.
Here's the thing, though. I will say, yes, it can help your stock to go out there and have great chemistry with receivers you never thrown with before. But no matter what, whether you're projected to go number one or last, you're going to be given a full training camp to build chemistry with your receivers. So it's not really
Yeah,
fair to say to Will Howard, like, you're trash. Like,
no,
oh, maybe give him an hour to talk over with
agreed,
your receivers, and maybe they
agreed.
can make something shape. Do you like a 7 or a 9? Like, it's just certain things. It's like, it's just certain things that through a training camp or through an off season you'd figure out.
No,
Um,
of course, but
but now,
then you go back
but
and you look at Will Howard's struggles from earlier in the year when people were calling him a terrible quarterback and all that stuff. So, but
mm,
no, Shador had nothing to gain from doing anything in the combine. I think he knows that. Um, I think same thing with Travis. The second you get compared directly to these people, things look a little bit different. So the
mhm.
only thing that could have happened is their draft stock falls, and people are already projecting, like you sent me earlier, Shador's stock falling.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that, and I want to end this segment by saying, because I know every Travis Hunter Dick Rider didn't make it this far and already in the comments hating. I don't. I'd love to see bro do very well in the
I would love
NFL.
to see him be the best
Like,
at both positions,
I still sit here and
and
harp on
and
the
and they
fact
can talk
that,
all that bullshit about him winning both awards in college, but go look at the numbers. He wasn't the best DB. He wasn't the best receiver in college.
like, I truly don't care about his fucking girlfriend and whatever's going on with stupid online bullshit.
For
Like I still harp on the fact that I wish he did go to like a Florida State or Bama, and like we actually got to really
we got to
see
see him.
a full, because if he would have went to one of those schools, they weren't gonna do this both side bullshit. I don't know.
No, it's
Whatever.
fall in line, bro.
I want to see Travis Hunter coached by someone that's not Deion Sanders.
And we
That's
will.
I think that's when we'll see the best version of Travis Hunter.
I hope so.
Fully formed Travis
But
Hunter. All
what's
right.
what's crazy to me is like I get that he wants to play both sides and change the game or whatever, but how much better could he be at receiver or DB if he stuck to one of them? Like if you
Uh,
spent all of your time doing
yeah,
that one thing, I think you'd be a little bit better.
he could probably be the best DB. Period. Best DB. Period. All right. Let's talk about Davante Adams, Devin.
Mm,
Davante Adams released by the Jets, and I'm starting to think that the chances of him following Rodgers have gotten as slim as they can possibly be.
really? Why?
Yeah, I think a lot more teams. I think his phone's gonna be ringing a lot more. I think. I mean, well, think about it.
I
There's more teams that could just add a receiver and help them get closer to
then
the
have to
Super
trade
Bowl.
for one.
The teams calling for Aaron Rodgers, besides like
You're right.
Pittsburgh, who already came out and said it's Fields or Russ, aren't ready to win football games. I think Davante is gonna like. It's either we're gonna go and I'm gonna play with my friend Aaron on this shitty team again,
Yeah.
or like I could go play with a team that's
And you don't have to change your team to play with Devontae. He already
exactly.
got his bag in Vegas, so he's not, I don't think, too worried about money.
Mhm.
Um, and I think the biggest reason that he went to the Jets was um, to win football games, which they were unable to do.
Yeah,
So
and
I think he went into that expecting to be a Super Bowl contender and flat out wasn't. Did he get
through
moved before the season or was it
during the
mid-season?
season, during the season, yeah,
Really? Okay, gotcha.
and throughout all that bullshit, still hit the 1,000 yard threshold. He still had
Yep,
1,000 receiving yards, and
yep.
apparently, from what I've read, playing on the West Coast is probably the biggest draw for him.
Really?
Is playing on the West Coast, so not even playing with Aaron, playing on the West Coast.
Well, there was the Aaron LA talk. That's definitely gone now.
So before we get into the West Coast, if it's not the West, it's like you have to be super appealing on the East or the South or
Devontae?
Midwest. Yeah, I'm saying like if you are a team that's not on the West Coast trying to get Davante, you got to be super appealing to Davante.
Sure.
Like I'm
Like us.
saying, if Buffalo is calling up
Philly.
Davante, Baltimore, I really don't want them to, but we're always coming up in these wide receiver free agency conversations. We
Yeah, yeah.
always come up. I hope we're not Cincinnati. If they lose out on T. Higgins, who knows if they make that phone
No,
call?
they tagged him.
They did tag him. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
stupid. I'm dumb. Don't ever listen to a word I say again. Pittsburgh, who knows what they would. Houston needs a receiver. I mean, shit. He could go over to Philly. If you want to stay, if you want to play and win on the East Coast, go to fucking Detroit, go to Philly. Obviously, I don't think he's gonna go to one of those teams. I think out of all those
No.
East Coast teams, I don't know. After
Buffalo
Buffalo,
would be cool.
I think Buffalo. I don't know. I think them giving what's his name that extension. They're really standing on their wide receiver room. I don't know if they make that big of a move and get Devontae. I see like an Amari re-sign over a Devontae pickup, but a Devontae
Sure.
pickup would be crazy. It would be crazy for
Yep.
Buffalo. Pittsburgh. I don't know if he'd want to go play with Russell Wilson. I like right now, like in my career, like I would you want to play with Russ or CJ Stroud? I'd probably say CJ Stroud. One franchise believes in their quarterback right now.
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about, I mean, he's gonna be playing wherever he goes. He's playing 1 year. He's not signing no long-term deals or anything.
I wouldn't say that. I don't know. You could sign a 2 or 3. I have no clue what.
I would expect a 1 year.
I'm assuming he's going somewhere to win.
Yes. So I
And I
mean,
mean,
his window seems to be getting shorter every time he makes a little move. So I would expect him to go to a. I mean, if he's gonna do a 2 3 year thing, if he still has that in him, sure,
he
go to
does.
Houston.
I think he does have it.
I
But
mean,
okay, say he goes to the West Coast then. Say he goes to the West Coast.
ooh, the Chargers.
Where okay, he could go to the Chargers.
Be
They
cool.
definitely need a receiver. We talk about this every episode. That would be great. He could go to San Fran. They just lost Deebo, but I don't know. He wants to go over there and play with Brock Purdy.
Doubt it.
Um,
Unless Aaron goes home.
Aaron could go home. The Rams. I mean, they're locked in with Stafford, and probably going to either, if they can't trade, I believe they said they may have to release Cooper Cup.
They're gonna release Coop.
Question is, Devin, Cooper Cup or Davante next year? You're a GM.
I mean
Mm,
Cup. Just straight chemistry.
okay.
But the but if you lose Cup, Devontae is not a bad option at all.
Okay, but like, are you banking on the chemistry and risking the injury factor?
Man, everyone can get injured at this point. So
But all right, let's not do that. Obviously, Christian
all right,
McCaffrey's more
but
likely to get hurt than fucking, I don't know, Saquon.
Saquon,
I get
anybody?
Saquon
Well,
behind
no,
Philly's O
Saquon was
line.
getting hurt. So
Yeah, well, in New York, but everybody gets hurt in New York. Either way,
it's true.
West Coast teams to me, it's San Fran, the Rams, or the Chargers. And to me, you're telling me,
Or there's always the Kansas City option.
bro,
It's always an
if he
option.
goes to Kansas City, I'm I'm done watching football.
Yeah.
That'd just be stupid.
No,
If Pro goes to
that
Kansas
can't be
City,
the
that would
finals.
be insane.
That can't be the finals
But
for
are
him.
you telling me
There have been
like
a
the
ton of
Chargers are
other options.
like no team on the East is more appealing than the Chargers, or is that more appealing than the Chargers to make him want to pick them over just wanting to play in the West Coast?
I think the Chargers are fairly appealing.
But I'm saying, is there no team over on the East Coast that are that much more appealing? Chargers are appealing, but is there any team that might be so much more appealing that he couldn't say no to?
I don't think Washington's so much more appealing. No, for real. Like that much more? I mean, the Bills maybe, depending on if he really, really wants to win Philly or Detroit. I don't see. I mean, I doubt the NFC is going to win the championship
I mean,
next year, but
this could be biased, and I don't want it to happen, but Baltimore to me is more appealing than the Chargers.
no, for sure. But
But I don't
again,
think
it's a matter of where he's at.
I don't think the Ravens make that move, and I don't want them to make that move.
No. Well, I mean, because
But
he made a conscious decision to go back to the West Coast, the West Side, to play for Vegas and to get a bag. The
mm,
only reason he went to the East was to
go
go
team
play
up
with
with
Aaron.
Aaron. I mean, I wouldn't count out a return to Vegas or Green Bay.
I'm probably going to count out a Vegas
I'm
return.
not going to count on a Vegas return. Okay,
I mean,
here's the thing, though.
but
Here's the
that
thing.
depends on quarterback, no? I mean, I get the Brady. Well, no, but
Think about it like this. Think about it like this. Imagine if Max Crosby had demanded a trade, right? Or maybe caused, or just was being maybe a little bit of a drama queen or whatever. And then a year later,
drama queef.
it comes out that, man, you know that guy who was like the head coach that you guys like fired? Yeah, he was like a big reason why I didn't want to be here. Now that he's nowhere near the facility anymore and isn't
Yeah,
calling me out on national TV after games and saying I'm going in for business for
for
myself,
money moves in
because that's absolutely what Antonio Pierce was doing to his own team
to his
and
own team.
absolutely was
He should
calling
have been
out people
fired
like,
after those comments.
so I could completely see a Raiders head office, an organization just being like, no, like we get it. Like we get why you wanted to go and we get why you'd want to come back now.
Yeah,
Like especially if Aaron is in that conversation, there you go. You go to the West Coast, you get your return to one of those teams, and you get to go play with Aaron again. All
yeah,
three. Knock him down, three dominoes.
it's fair. The
I
Aaron
don't
stuff is just so weird, though. It's like I don't know. He's trying to force this fairy tale ending, and I think he should, but the clock's ticking. You don't know how much fucking time he's got left.
the clock's ticking, but people want him. People want him. People are interested in him because we are about to talk about that in a second. But if I had to guess, if I had to put a prediction down, he wants to go to the West Coast, and if he has to go for trying to win, I mean, the most complete team has to be the Chargers, right?
Yeah,
I mean, San Fran healthy. I'm still worried about Purdy.
Of course. But again, you have. I mean, we saw what happened when McCaffrey was out basically the entire season.
Yeah,
Kittle's
trouble.
getting up in there in age a little bit. No
A lot of
Deebo.
trouble.
You got Ayuk who got hurt halfway through
After
the
we paid
season.
him.
Exactly. So
After he bitched and after we paid him.
not even close to it for sure. Now, workload wise, he would kind of basically step into being the one on that team. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Good.
I mean, yeah, Chargers. I mean, the most exciting move would be Vegas or
Vegas
San
is an
Fran or
exciting move if they make a quarterback move.
Baltimore. Yeah, yeah.
He's not going
They
back
don't if
there
they
to
don't
play
draft Shador. Yeah.
fucking. All right, let's relax. If they draft Shador, I don't know how much more appealing they become to Davante.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
they
if
would
they
not
just
be
draft
appealing
Shador. All right,
if they draft
okay.
Shador.
So I'm glad you brought Shador up, Devin. Because after this week of combine, interviews and just reports and whatnot, turns out there's a lot more mixed feelings about Shador than maybe the media wanted us to see or know about.
Yeah.
No. Don't yab me like that. When a week ago he was a projected easy top 5, top 2 quarterback.
But
There's
no,
no
dude.
question.
But they're still talking about that. There's a dude on ESPN who's like, oh yeah, fucking Shador's projected number 2 to the Browns.
That's cool. That's cool. Here's the problem though. I don't want to talk about what this guy said on ESPN and what that guy said. I want to talk about what teams are saying and what teams are doing. Because here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing, Devin. Who are the top 2 teams that have projected to be, have interest and or draft Shador Sanders?
Giants and the Browns,
And well, Giants and the Raiders.
Raiders, sure.
What if I told you that there's now? Here's the thing. Do you think Chicago called anybody last offseason?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think they made a phone call to Kirk or like anybody else knowing they were going to draft Caleb Williams?
Fuck no.
Okay. So
Why are
if
the Raiders still looking? Why are the
so
Giants still
Shador
looking
is
for
this
options?
obvious number one, and Shador is this
Yeah,
obvious answer. Why are the Giants interested in Aaron Rodgers?
yeah,
Why were the Giants and the Raiders both trying to get Matt Stafford? Why are the
yep,
Raiders also interested in Aaron Rodgers? Why are the Giants and the Raiders both interested in Sam Darnold?
yep, yeah.
It really makes me wonder. You got these guys
But
who might have been.
and that's the funniest thing is like no one like for all the hype that Caleb got and didn't live up to, Shador's getting none of that. None of the Heisman talk, none of the pro ready talk, none of that talk is coming in to him outside of it's Deion's son, it's
Oh,
Colorado,
and when
it's
Caleb was hitting the,
hype
the hit, hitting the combine and pre-draft, it was man, this guy's pro ready. They got this playoff team in Chicago
everything.
ready. They're gonna make a run. They're gonna do all this shit. Shador, you're right.
Yep.
He's not even being talked like that, but he's still being treated like that.
Beyond.
Beyond that, and now we're getting reports that some GMs don't even believe he's a first round. He should be selected in the first round. So,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, some GMs are stupid. Which ones? The ones who don't
True.
believe he's a first round pick, or the ones that are going to pick him in the top 5?
I mean, even even if he does get drafted high, which there still is a possibility for a GM to make that mistake. Even if he does, you got to go out and prove whatever it is. You're not. I don't think Shador is going to get that same 3 4 year leeway that Caleb Williams is going to get, regardless of how he plays. Caleb's going to have a long time to figure his shit out. I don't think Shador is going to have that much time because you got backups taking people's jobs now. You got 40-year-old dudes taking people's jobs now.
Yeah, and it's just
It's weird.
there was no there was no way Chicago was sitting there calling old timers knowing they were drafting Caleb Williams. It just
I don't
wasn't.
know.
And the year before that, Carolina wasn't going, "Hey, you want to come you want to come play with us? We might draft Bryce.
Yeah,
We might. I don't
yeah.
know. I'm thinking about it." Like, no, they were doing it.
This is definitely one of the most confusing draft classes.
This is a
And I think
very
just because
confusing
college
draft
football
class.
is different.
No, college football. That's college football is different, but that's not why this quarterback draft class sucks. This quarterback draft class just ain't that good.
You never know.
Okay, from what we've seen and
Sure.
comparing to the other
But I mean,
past
who would have thought
years,
that a guy from Wyoming and a guy from Louisville would fucking take over the league?
the guy from Louisville that like won a Heisman was the youngest guy to win. Oh, who
Yeah,
would have
but who
thought?
still went behind Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, fucking Mitch Trubisky, and all those guys.
No, draft order we can debate all day, but just the talent in the draft itself coming out of what we've from their college,
That's fair.
product.
Baker's talent level was
Baker, I mean, come on,
well above all these guys.
bro, Baker
And Baker was apparently it was a bust for a while. So
come on, college Baker was crazy. I mean,
nuts.
that was a
He
whole
was that
other
suck my nuts Baker, dude.
that was a whole other demon. But all right, I got some athletes for you to guess. I got some athletes for you to guess. Now, last episode, I was like, damn, you got the Steve Young, boom, quick, you were on that, and then
On that. And that's my fear about getting some of these quick is that you're just gonna fucking give me some hard ass fucking Latavius Murray's.
I feel like I got 3 good ones.
Okay.
I feel like I do. All right. First player. This player has the most touchdown passes, 70 plus yards. Or this player has the most touchdown passes, 70 yards or more.
How many?
I did not get that number.
Okay.
But he has the most. Most touchdowns, 70 yards.
He or she.
Or over. He or she. This quarterback started off at a JUCO.
Started at JUCO?
Started at a JUCO. Started his college career at a JUCO.
Okay.
You said, oh. Okay.
I said, oh, just because. Can I guess Aaron?
Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's the only quarterback that I know who started at a JUCO.
It's the only quarterback you know that started at a JUCO.
Cam went to Florida, then went to JUCO.
But that's the only. All right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
for the clip's sake, he was the fifth to throw. He was the fifth quarterback to throw for 500 touchdown passes.
Spectacular.
He has the most passing yards in his first 5 years as a starter.
Damn.
And he has the most consecutive passes without an interception.
I definitely would have got it off the fifth as well.
That's why I put it fifth.
Yeah.
If I would have known the JUCO shit, I probably would
have put that was years.
Probably would have put that.
But yeah, no, the JUCO, that was big because it was JUCO and then Cal.
There you go. Cut up. Because these next two.
Yeah, I'm not going to be getting those.
All right, we'll see.
The Brickashaw Ferguson.
This player, Devin, has the most passing yards in a single quarter.
Mm-hmm.
This quarterback has less total passing yards than Alex Smith, but more than Steve Young.
Most passing yards in a quarter. Okay.
He has less passing touchdowns than Jim Kelly, but more total passing touchdowns than Kurt Warner. He's played for 3 teams.
Okay.
He's played for 3 teams.
That's blowing me now. I'm now a little bit lost. So many two team quarterbacks.
A lot of 2 teams. A lot of 3 teams.
An okay amount of 3 teams. Not too crazy.
No, like a lot.
A lot?
A lot.
What's the fifth?
He was the 3rd quarterback taken in the 2006 draft.
06, that gives me a lot of help.
It should.
Yes, that gives me a ton. I was thinking fucking 80s for a second. I was about to say Boomer Esiason, dude.
Okay, all right, yeah. 3rd quarterback taken in the 2006 draft.
Most
passing yards in 1 quarter.
Quarter.
Played for 3 teams. Less total passing yards than Alex Smith, more than Steve Young. Less total passing touchdowns than Jim Kelly, more than Kurt Warner. So bro balled.
Was a baller.
Bro balled.
Did Matt Ryan play for 3 teams? No, he played for 2.
No.
It's not Matt Ryan.
It's not Matt Ryan. What Matt Ryan? Atlanta and where did he go
Indy.
over to?
Indy.
Did he go over to Indy?
Because Phillip went to Indy and then Matt Ryan went to Indy.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
It was like a
yeah.
hub for dead quarterbacks for a few years.
Wow. Well, yeah, they were killing them for so long. They just started taking ones that were already dead.
Fair. 06 is the weirdest draft ever. What the fuck is going on?
All right.
Russ was drafted in like 11.
09, 11, in that
Something
range.
like that. Maybe 09. Motherfucker. Do I get a retirement date?
I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you.
More passing touchdowns than who? Or more passing yards than who?
More
Alex
passing
Smith?
yards. More passing yards than Steve Young. Less than Alex Smith.
Less than Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have one more hint.
Okay.
He is a franchise leader in total passing yards.
Fuck me. Matt Schaub.
No.
Damn it. I thought I was cooking, bro. I thought I was fat cooking. Damn.
Bro, I thought you had it. I
thought I cooked
the
so
look
hard.
you
right
gave
there.
me, I was like, oh man, he had Matt Schaub.
I
All
thought
right.
I cooked so. I figured he'd be a Texans leader or something.
Oh my god.
Give me it. That sucks.
You don't know?
Charlie Batch.
Jay Cutler.
Oh, you fucking slut, dude.
It's Jay Cutler.
I haven't thought about the cut in so long, dude.
Jay Cutler.
He's
That's
the
a
Bears
pool.
leader in everything, apparently.
That's a pool right there. But hey, Kurt Warner. Jay Cutler walks around
If
every
Jay
day
Cutler was in
saying,
the news more nowadays, I think I would get it. But he's not.
but I mean, he's walking around with more passing touchdowns than Kurt Warner, more yards than Steve Young. He's a franchise leader. Most passing yards in one quarter. It was like 171.
No Pro Bowls.
I think.
That's a
No Pro Bowls.
That's a cool
All right.
stat, though.
This final player, this quarterback is a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's played for 4 teams. He has the most passing yards in one Sunday night football game. He's the oldest player to throw for 450 yards in a game while completing 75% of his passes.
Fuck. 2-time Pro Bowler.
2-time Pro Bowler, 4 teams, most passing yards in a single Sunday night football game, and he's the oldest to throw for 450 yards while completing 75% of his throws.
4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
5th hint? Or is that
He has
spicy?
Let's see. He has the most completions in one game in Atlanta Falcons history.
Four teams, and one of them is the Falcons.
He is for in Falcons history, he completed the most passes in one game.
Vic?
No.
I'm really struggling to think of other Falcons quarterbacks. Did Vic play for 4 teams or 3?
Jets,
does the
Steelers,
Saints count?
Eagles, Jets, Steelers, Eagles.
Oh, Jets.
Falcons.
Jets. I said Saints.
What you thinking?
Falcons quarterback.
2 Pro Bowls, 4 teams, most passing yards.
Fuck you. Brett Favre?
No.
God damn it! What the fuck?
No.
I only said that. I'm only thinking of the 4 teams. He was
Mm.
drafted by the Falcons, Packers, Jets, Vikings.
I mean, that was, 14. Yeah, I mean, he played all.
That's
That
the only
was.
thing that made sense. But 2-time Pro Bowler, dumb dildo over here. The fuck is it? Who the fuck are? What years are we looking at here?
Um,
Fuck.
uh, the 21st century.
Thank you. Kirk's only played for 3 teams and he stinks. God damn it.
Oh,
You gotta be
God.
joshing me right now.
I am, dude, because you're gonna be so mad.
I know.
No, you, like, pissed.
No, like, beyond upset.
Yeah. Yeah. You want the answer?
No.
Come on.
Yes.
All right, Devin. So 2 Pro Bowls, 4 teams, most passing yards in a Sunday night football game, oldest to throw for 450 with 75 complete a 75 completion percentage, most completions in one game in Falcons history. You're gonna hate me. You really are. It's Matt Schaub.
I almost threw everything right there. I almost yucked everything.
You had
The
it.
only time I've ever said Matt Schaub.
You had it, and I had to act like my acting had to be like, I would never pick Matt Schaub for this game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why would I pick Matt Schaub knowing he's the next fucking person on the game,
That's
Devin?
so fucked.
I mean, when you said Matt Schaub, my heart dropped. I was like, fuck.
He's on to me, dude.
He's on this. But once you
Who
guessed it,
the
I was like,
fuck
oh
would
man.
have thought that Matt Schaub played for the fucking Falcons?
Played for the Falcons, completed the most passes in a single game. Most
I didn't even
passing
know he
yards.
played for 4 teams. What the fuck teams did he play for?
Texans,
I guess
Falcons, Ravens.
Was he a Raven?
He was a Raven.
You're right. You're right.
He was our
I
quarterback.
was thinking of the Arkansas guy. What the fuck I got the hick?
Oakland. He was in Oakland for a year. 2014. 2014
Dang.
he was in. 2015, yes. 2015 he was with the Ravens. I believe he played in the game where we played Seattle, and he threw. No, that was Ryan Mallett. Ah, damn.
That's what I was about to say. That's the name I was thinking of, the
Ryan
Arkansas
Mallett.
quarterback.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So 3 teams, but he played for the Ravens.
Played for the Ravens. Played for the Raiders.
Okay.
Played
But
for
not
the
really.
Texans. Played for the Falcons.
So he started as a Falcon?
No, he played Falcons at last team he played for.
Oh, really?
But for some reason, that was a fact that he had the most completions in a single game in Falcons history.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I only know him as a Texan.
I only know bro as
Maybe
a
a
Texan.
Raider.
But with that being said, we talked Deebo being a Commander, the face or faces of the NBA, what teams are actually trying to win in the NBA, Davante landing spots, Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, Shohei Ohtani, Tank Davis taking a knee. Devin, is there anything that you want to / need to say before we get out of here?
Do a flip. Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to see the Travis Shador things play out.
It would be nice if
And
people.
I want to be proved wrong.
But here's the thing. I don't need to be proved wrong. It's just more of I wish people would chill on where they put certain people on the pedestal or who they put on the pedestal or who they put on a pedestal or how high that pedestal is. It's like maybe let's relax. Because if we didn't put playoff expectations on Caleb Williams, probably wouldn't be so tough on him right now.
It wouldn't be as bad.
We're literally saying Travis, like there are people agreeing that Travis Hunter is better than Shohei Ohtani.
Makes no sense.
And I mean,
he hasn't stepped foot in a professional sport yet.
It's It's weird. It's very
Yeah.
tricky. It's
God, I
tricky,
hope
Devin.
Cam Newton shows up to that Colorado Pro Day.
Dude, if Cam Newton
That'd
shows
be
up, I
awesome.
would love for him and Shador to just trading overthrows.
For real.
But all right. With all that being said, hopefully you all enjoyed this episode
Nah,
of
Shador
our
underthrows that bitch.
yeah, maybe underthrows. Who knows? We'll be back on Saturday to discuss more NBA, more NFL, more off-season shit, more in-season shit. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. We are out.